video in our sort of ongoing set of talking to other falconers podcast style. This is a great guy who I really wanted to get on, and this chap's come to me, and it's been a long time for me to get back to him, and he's been very, very patient, and that's just time this end. So you might remember the Harris Hawk, the wild trapping Harris Hawk that we did from a Texan guy called Evan. He's still flying that bird. He's doing well. His second season now. Another American falconer in the most classic desert setting, like any cowboy film desert, those big saguaro cacti. Every time he sends me a video, I want to see a roadrunner run by, but so different from the UK, so different. And again, wild trapping. Now, what fascinated me in my head is out in some quiet countryside in the middle of nowhere, following around and spying on the Harris Hawks, seeing them and working out, you know, which one's got a lovely big female passage bird, setting his traps in the quiet of the countryside of the desert. Very, very different. It kind of amused me because my whole imagination was shattered. It was an illusion there. He knew far better than that to catch them. So we're going to try and do, you know, I'm going to send some questions, and the chap's going to come back with some answers, and he's got so much footage which hopefully we'll be able to overlay on a lot of this video, and yeah, such a brighter place than here in the UK. So we're going to fire the guy some questions. Stay tuned. This is going to be, for anyone in the UK that especially flies a Harris Hawk, really fascinating. Flying them, where they live, where they come from. Okay, Vasil, please tell me I've said your name right. Vasil, if not, correct me straight away. Rubbish with that kind of thing. You came to me and you've messaged me and got in touch, and it was fascinating, and you're telling me you've been trapping hawks and you've been doing falconry for a while, but you've trapped a new female Harris Hawk for this sort of 2025, 2026 season. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'll send them across, and then perhaps you can send them as long or as short as you like, but expand on those questions. So unfortunately, I'm not a man of means where I would love to say, come over, do an interview, or better still, can I come over and see your birds fly and do an interview? But let's try and get this to work. It has worked before. It's just not as good as being there. Of course, you're there. I'm here in the falconry centre. It's 10 degrees outside. I'm just looking out the window now, and it's freezing cold rain. What's the temperature where you are? What colour is the sky? First question. But tell me, let's keep it basic. I like to ask people this same sort of thing. Firstly, what got you into falconry? How did you come into falconry? A lot of people, they kept animals before and so on, and it's progressed. Here in the UK, there was a famous film in the 60s called Kes. It was about a very poor kid that hated his life at school, basically bunking off school, taking an IS kestrel from a Eurasian kestrel from the nest, bunking off school and training this bird and giving him some kind of life, you know. And that's quite a common theme here. People a bit older than me often said, I watched that film, it was so good. Climbed up a tree and got a kestrel and trained it myself. And a lot of falconers are still around to that day. But what got you into falconry? And this year at least, why did you choose a female Harris Hawk? So there's your first questions. Fire away.
Good morning, Dave. My name is Vasil, and this is my female Harris Hawk, Catalina. We're in a beautiful Sonoran Desert here in Arizona, 2 hours away from Phoenix. The place is called Queens Valley. So, a little bit about me. I'm from Bulgaria. Sorry for my English, for my bad English. I'm originally from Bulgaria. I've been living here in America for 22 years. Served in US Army 2011-2015, and after I got out from the army, I just decided, I was like, I want to do falconry. I've been wanting to do falconry for a long time, since 1998 when I was a little kid. I came back home and found a hobby falcon in the bushes. I took care of her, and unfortunately she died from frowns. But since 1998 I was hooked up on falconry, and here I am right now with the Harris hawk. So this is amazing bird. We have caught like so many game already, like so much, and she's such a sweetheart. When I was 14 years old, I was coming back home from school and I saw something moving in the brush. I was like, what is that? Looked like a raptor to me, and it wasn't able to fly. I grabbed that bird, I brought it home. My mom wasn't happy, but after reading a lot of books, sitting for hours in a library back in 1998 in Bulgaria, we didn't have this technology like kids have right now. You can just take a picture and find it on Google. But back in the day, I was sitting for hours and hours in a local library reading about species and stuff, and I found out that I had a hobby falcon. It was such a beautiful bird, smart bird. I spent like 6 months with her. She ended up dying from frowns. I was feeding her with beef, with scrambled eggs. Yeah, I didn't know better back in the days. But I ended up finding a injured pigeon, and I put it in her meals. She ate that pigeon, and after 1 week she died from frowns. Unfortunately, I took her to the veterinarian. They performed a surgery. They cut her throat and removed that, the blackout. But she still passed away. And the next day, I found her laying on the floor. And yeah, so that's how I got into falconry. And since 1998, I was watching falconry videos from all over the world. I was reading about, all kind of birds. Like, I actually love goshawks a lot, but here in Arizona we have beautiful Harris hawks, and they're everywhere here. Actually, like where I'm sitting right now, there's like 5 birds are perched like maybe 100 meters away from me. She can't see them because I blocked them with my Jeep. So we're in Queens Valley in Arizona, and I'm recording wild Harrises flying around in the neighborhoods hunting in somebody's backyard. So I don't have enough experience. In the United States you have to be an apprentice, you have to find a sponsor, you have to build the mules, pass the state exam, then have a game and fish come into your house, inspect all the facilities, and after you pass all that, they give you a permit to trap a wild bird. So when I started all my falconry journey last year, I was kind of late. The deadline to trap a Harris hawk is December 31st. I finished my meals on end of January, and I had no choices but to trap a red tail. So I went out there to trap a red tail hawk. I drove like for 4 days all over the place. I was like, I'm not coming home without a bird. I ended up trapping a male red tail hawk. He was around 925 grams. Such a beautiful bird, nice bird, super stubborn. He was already imprinted on mice. It wasn't easy to train. I mean, from everybody's experience with the red tails, they're kind of like a little bit stubborn birds compared to Harris hawks. But I ended up like manning him. I flew him couple months, and we didn't have much success. We killed couple snakes. He was a snake catcher. He loved those snakes. I mean, if I'm with my red tail, as you can see, we don't have a lot of trees here. He will just perch on saguaro cactus and sit there until I flash something. And even if I flash 6 rabbits, he will not even move. But one day he just took off so fast, crashed in the brush, and I was like, what is that? I had like fighting with a coach whip snake. So after a couple snakes, I decided to release him. It was end of the season. he got injured, and I rehabbed him. I got him back to his full strength, and I was like, well, the wisest thing will be to release this bird, let him live in the wild. He has already imprinted on whatever he was hunting before I trap him. So I was like, the new season will bring new bird, and maybe I'm gonna get a Harris hawk. I kind of wanted to get another red tail. I got Texas trapping permit to trap a Fuertesi. It's like another subspecies of a red tail hawk. Fuertesi subspecies. I got Kansas trapping license to drive from Arizona to state of Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, and trap me a eastern red tail hawk, which are super big compared to western red tails, and they're good. But then talking to my sponsor, talking to my friends, talking to my buddies from Bulgarian Falconry Association, and with Anani Lubinov, he's a president of Bulgarian Falconry Association. He's like, man, you're living in Arizona, you're gonna be stupid if you're not gonna trap a Harris hawk. And then I start then I start researching more about them. I kind of didn't care about trapping right now, actually this season of Harris hawk, because I knew that anytime I want a Harris hawk, I was able to trap them because they're here in the wild, you know. And I really wanted red tail. I watch your videos about red tail versus a Harris, and not only one time, maybe I watch your video like 100 times, whether you fly a red tail or Harris. And I was like, man, if I trap a Harris hawk, I'm gonna regret not flying a red tail hawk. And vice versa, I was like, what if I'm gonna trap another dot, or I don't have enough experience in falconry. I just started falconry 1 year ago, so this is my third bird. So my first bird was a male red tail, only snakes, no bunnies. I bagged him so many times, nothing changed, and he just didn't click on rabbits, so I end up releasing him. And then I was like, I'm gonna trap another red tail. I trap another red tail, which end up sick out of the wild. Had frowns, he had worms, he had asper, and he had like, he was like spitting and saliva came out of his nostrils. That bird went to Arizona Raptor Center, and they took him out of my permit. And even 2 months before the season start, oh, there's a Harris hawk flying. 2 months before the season started, I was maxed on my trapping license. I was like, I can't even trap anymore. I have to wait 1 year before I trap. The law in Arizona is like, everybody, it doesn't matter if you're apprentice falconer, if you're a general falconer or master falconer, you have a permission to trap only 2 birds. So if this bird, for example, is not successful, I can kick her loose, trap another one, but I already have 2 red tails. So I reached to my sponsor. I was like, can you trap a bird for me? And then he trapped her, he put her on his license, and then after 2 weeks he transferred it on my license, so he can do that, and it doesn't count against you, you know, like against your trapping, you know, trapping limitation. So that's the story with this Harris hawk. It's amazing bird. She's a sweetheart. So let me tell you about something funny about this bird compared to my red tail. So when I got my red tail, my friend said like, well, you have to buy that track pack mount, so you can put her antenna on you know, like on the back. It's really easy to install. It's easier, you know, like than putting it on a leg or a tail mount, because I'm kind of like worried about like her going on a light pole and getting electrocuted like your gas hawk did it. So I'm so sorry about that, and I was like really upset when you released that video. But anyway, when I tried to install the track pack on my red tail hawk, he was pissed off. He didn't want me to do it. So I asked my friend to help me we tape his talons, we cast him, we put him in ABBA, we put a hood on him, and like that's how we install his trap pack. With this girl is, man, this girl is so good. So I install and reinstall a track pack antenna mount on her 11 times. She just lets me do it, and she lets me do it. I was, printing this side, she was helping me printing the other side, and she doesn't even bother. I found out she likes to, like sit in my bedroom. I have a big mirror in my bedroom, and she sits there and she looks at herself. She thinks it's another Harris Hawk, and she doesn't even move. Like how she sits right now, that's how she sits when I install, the track pack antenna. So we install everything 11 times, and she didn't even move. I was like, man, even a human being will be annoying. I mean, like, wow, after 11 times you can get the size right. And she was really calm. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a really nice bird. Yeah, she turned into a hidden gem, really hidden gem, really nice bird. Did you see a bunny? You see a bunny there? We can fly, Catalina, you're overweight, 100 grams. Yeah, she's so fat. And she needs to cast. Maybe tonight we're gonna fly. We're gonna go to a different field. If I release you right now, you're gonna go to the Harris Hawks, and I don't have anything to feed you anymore. You ate all the food yesterday, yes.
Cheers for that. Now, something here that we can't do is trap birds from the wild. It's an absolute nightmare. Even having a wild injured bird it's problematic, but we certainly can't trap birds for falconry. Since the 60s, I guess, captive breeding has progressed now that most birds we get here, they're bred to excess, which is bad in a way because we don't have a licensing system like you guys. So they're bred to excess. The prices then fall because people have got to sell the birds they bred, and the wrong people buy them, and people buy them for the wrong reasons, and they dabble and so on. You've got that opportunity there to trap a wild bird. What I love, you're trapping it and then flying it in its habitat. We're flying Harris Hawks and breeding them in the UK. Like I said, it's damp, it's 10 degrees centigrade, and it's pouring of cold rain today. Hardly the habitat that the feathers of a Harris Hawk have evolved in, and so on. Tell me about trapping these birds. I saw the pictures, and I know you're going to send me some. Tell me the process. Where did you trap it? What you're going through, what you're looking for. Tell me the process of wild trapping an actual Harris Hawk.
Alright, so let's talk about trapping. So trapping a Harris Hawk is very easy. Most of the time you just have to look for a brushy terrain like I am right now, and when they're nesting, they nest away from the from the community, away from people. But when the birds are fully fledged and hard penned, the families tend to move into the community. So even in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, in Mesa, in Gilbert, Arizona, all those cities, you can just drive around and find Harris Hawks around the parks. But most of the time they hang out like here. I'm in the Queens Valley, and I will drive around right now and show you Harris Hawks. They just hang out there. People walking their bloody dogs, people doing their businesses and driving to work, playing golf. They don't care. They just fly there. They hunt there in the families. There's 2 families here, I believe. I saw one family before I entered this town, and we saw another family when I entered this town, and they were just flying around. It's quite a challenge, but once you read the books about Harris Hawks and talk to the locals, talk to local falconers and people with experience, they have trapped those birds before, so they know where to look, and they usually hang out around the cities because rabbits, they move, they hide into the houses by the fence, and most of the people outskirts of the cities, they have They have horses, they have cattle and hay, and that attracts rabbits, so rabbits attract Harris hawks, and so on and so forth. And there's so many quail here. As I was driving, there's quail everywhere. So trapping is really easy. Like, you think it's complicated, you think you will have to drive like a days and weeks, but I'm here. Like, if I had the BC trap, we use the BC trap to, you know, trap red tails and Harris hawks. I mean, I can just throw the trap right there, and they will be. I will trap minimum 3 birds on this trap, and it's been proven before. We have trapped exactly this family 2 months ago with my friend. He was trapping a male Harris hawk for himself. So it's a lot of fun. But legally right now I can't trap and record it, and I can't legally trap right now because I exceed my trapping limitations. But to be honest, it's not good to trap those birds if you're not gonna, you know, like take one for falconry. It's mentally not good for them. And maybe somebody else wants to come over here and trap them. So if I go and like just throw a trap right now just to show you, and if somebody else is gonna come later, they will be shy trap, and they're not gonna be attracted to the trap. They're not that they're really smart animals. Like, if you trap them one time, it's gonna take them like at least maybe 1 month to forget about that stressful experience, you know, because they remember the trap. They remember that, like, they're, you know, you running towards them, like towering over them, and you know, we trapped like all that family, like 4 birds. We trapped 4 birds like 2 months ago, and all of them were adults. The juveniles, like Catalina, were just sitting on the top of the saguaro cactuses watching their parents being trapped, and we went there. We let them loose, and one male, even when we untied the hook from his leg, he was just like sitting like this for 2 minutes. I was like, man, just go. And he was like so terrified. I was like, okay, we gotta get out of here and let them live their life. So yeah, trapping it's a lot of fun. It's very easy, and it's a little bit complicated versus trapping a red tail. Okay, for example, if I wanna trap a red tail, red tails are easy. Like, even if the red tail is sitting like really far away, maybe not a half a mile, I mean, like, let's say like 200 yards from me on a high perch, I can throw a BC trap. It's ideally to, you know, throw a BC trap like right underneath him or as close as possible without spooking the bird. But from my experience, like, red tails, they're attracted, and they can, you know, like from long distances they can just hit the BC trap. But with those guys, it's just my experience. I'm not talking about everybody's experience here in the United States or Arizona. With the Harrises, you have to get them engaged and like just throw the trap as close as possible. And like, for example, like we have 5 birds here sitting like I just showed you over there. You will just toss the trap, and most of the time the juveniles are like, they're so naive and they're a little bit dumb. They don't have that experience, and they're not as cautious. Like, she wasn't even cautious. When I throw the trap with my sponsor, she hit the trap like that. Parents were standing like for 1 minute watching that Rabanovsky hamster, like, you know, running circles inside a BC trap. This girl was just like right away like footing the, you know, the BC trap, and she was hooked. And yeah, we got her back in 2 hours. Beautiful. Both males?
Both males.
Man, poor chicken.
That's too bad. I'm trying to catch females, but
Fascinating stuff. But tell me also a bit about your personal process of training those hawks. That wild trapped hawk. Tell us something about the process of training it, because I'm sure there'll be similarities and differences from how our captive bred birds behave. So to give you an example, most people here fly parent reared Harris hawks, mostly for the noise factor. They don't want the noise in their small gardens. They're taking these birds at 16 to 20 weeks old. So they've been in an aviary, quite institutionalised, so that they haven't learnt a lot in that, the first maybe 20 weeks of their life. And one thing they haven't learnt to do is get muscled up and strong and fly, because it doesn't matter how big your aviary is, they're not really flying around that much. They're not getting strong. They're not learning about anything much at all for a delayed amount of time. My son worked at a place where he could tame hack a pair of brothers Harris hawks. So they were hand reared imprints together, and they by 10 weeks, these birds had took their own game. One of them had taken a rabbit actually. They were flying so high in the summer sky that they were specking out into the blue sky. They were flying in incredibly strong winds, and they were just learning it all naturally, like a wild bird does. So when these birds were picked up for falconry, they were able to kill. They were better flyers than most people's Harris hawks are, full stop. But that's incredibly rare and unusual here in the UK to have birds like that, and one of them is still stunning. You're getting these passage birds, these young birds. Well, not really passage, they're not on migration, but you're getting these young passage birds. What's the pros and cons? What's the training? If they're just eating mice, is it easy to get them on desert hares or whatever you fly, that kind of thing? Tell me maybe the differences, but how you see the training that's a successful way to train these birds that are already working in a family group by the time you take them.
Well, let's put it that way. I'm just like first year falconer. I don't have any experience with the chamber raised birds. But my neighbor has 2 chamber raised birds. Here in the United States, if you do business, if you do pigeon control or any type of falconry business, you have to do that with the chamber raised. By law, you can only use for business purposes, you can only use chamber raised birds. You can use a wild bird to do business stuff. And they are so annoying. They just scream, that's it. They scream as soon as I wake up 6 in the morning, they scream. And they never stop screaming. It's very annoying. And from what I observe, from my experience watching other falconers and watching my friend flying her imprint Harris hawk, that he sold this Harris hawk a long time ago because she was a screamer, and he just didn't want to deal with her anymore. One guy from California bought her, but it doesn't matter. What I saw when he flew this Harris hawk, that from the wild, like Harris hawks, they live with their parents. They watch what their parents do. They learn from their parents. They perch high, and to have better advantage when like the game come out. But when I went with my friend hunting one time, he was very frustrated. He was like, well, my bird is so dumb, it just doesn't want to perch high, and she just doesn't understand. She didn't understood, and she didn't have that experience from the wild that, hey, you need to perch high. If you perch high, you will have better advantage, and you will see prey better. And she will just like run around the ground. She will perch really low, like not even like higher than my Jeep, and sometimes when we're like 20 yards out, like we're walking flashing game, and if she's like that low, she's not gonna be able to see the bunny, and even if she see the bunny, she's not gonna have that momentum like advantage compared to my bird. Like seeing my friend flying, and that bird was amazing. That bird was catching rabbits, and that bird was like really friendly, but she was a screamer. She screamed her lungs off. She never stopped screaming. It was so annoying. I was like, and when I saw him flying a Harris hawk, I was like, man, that's an annoying bird. And I was like, that's an ugly bloody scream. I was like, I don't want a Harris hawk. and that's why I trap a red tail. I was like, I don't want to have anything, you know, like with the Harris hawk. But he told me like, hey, but the wild ones are not like the, you know, chamber raised. They're not a screamers. They're much better. I was like, I don't care. I don't want a Harris hawk. They look ugly. I just don't want to do anything with them. But anyway, I ended up trapping this girl, and everything just changed because they're just, this is completely different species, completely different mentality. Like even if you compare to the chamber race, because they have more experience. They've been hungry in the wild. They fighting with their siblings for food. You don't have to introduce them to the, you know, to prey, like whatever. Here, if I wanna, you know, fly her on bunnies, she's gonna fly on bunnies. If I wanna introduce her to quail, she can go after a quail, you know, after second or third reef flash, of course. You know, she's too big to, you know, to chase quail. But maybe I just don't have experience with the chamber raised, and I can't speak about every single chamber raised, you know, bird. But what I've seen from my friend, that he wasn't happy with his chamber raised. He wasn't happy with the scream. His neighbors weren't happy with the scream. And every time we will go in a field, and he wasn't happy that she didn't, you know, perch high. And when I fly my bird, she will just go to the highest point. Even if there's nothing there, just like saguaro, she will choose the tallest saguaro and she will stay there. Those birds are already like mentally prepared. They learn from the nature, and they've been here. They hunt with their parents. They know how to maneuver. And yeah, we have really nasty cactuses. Those cactuses, even if they go into their leg, you know, they can hurt them. And if I take a chamber raised bird, for example, if I buy a chamber raised bird from Louisiana or somewhere else, from Iowa or Idaho, I don't know where, anywhere that they breed them, and I fly him over here in Arizona, I guarantee you 80% of chance he's gonna land on the cholla cactus. And this cholla cactus is like, I mean, this thing is everywhere. This thing is all over the place. Let me bring you one thing. So this is dry cholla cactus. I mean, those birds are not stupid. She knows what's cholla cactus. She will never ever land on this, because if she lands once, she's gonna realize all those spikes, all the thing is gonna go right inside her, and she doesn't like it. Oh my gosh, it went inside my skin. Anyway, but your chamber raised bird, for example, from England, is gonna land on that, and it's gonna be covered, like totally covered with this thing. So it happened before. I've seen that with when people flew their imprints here in Arizona, imprints that are not local birds. So yeah, that's the difference. And maybe learning factor, maybe not, but for me she meant in 14 days. I mean, it's my first bird. Maybe my next Harris hawk is gonna man like longer. I have no idea, but I have spent exactly same amount of time with this bird and my red-tailed hawk, my male red-tailed hawk. 14 days, red-tailed hawk 26 days. 11 rabbits in 2 weeks, red-tail 0 rabbits and 1 snake in 2 months. And I was so frustrated, so nervous all the time, every time I flew my red tail. I don't know, but this bird is super nice. She's shadowing me everywhere. She's following me everywhere. She's so calm, so friendly. I have nothing bad to tell about this bird. I fly her as much as possible. So we fly Monday, Tuesday. She has Wednesdays off. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and she has Sundays off. I try to fly her as much as possible, so she can, you know, I'm just like, I feel sorry that I took her away from her parents. and she belongs to the nature. It's so beautiful here, and like I want her to enjoy flying and catching, and it's good for her mental being, to catch game. So we fly her, and she enjoys flying. She loves flying. Last Saturday we didn't caught anything. She went after four jackrabbits. So this right now it's Tuesday. This Friday we go back with my friend. We're going back to the same field, and yeah, we're gonna try to catch a jackrabbit. But last time both of them, male and female, they were going so hard after those jacks, and I was like, man, she wanted to get the jackrabbit, but man, once they once they're open, man, this jackrabbit is so fast. But she's building her fitness, and mid-season she's gonna be better. Maybe late season we can go for jacks, but right now we're catching only cottontail rabbits. She's really good at it, and this bird is so calm. Let me tell you something about her. So I installed her a truck pack, like Marshall truck pack, antenna mount. Compared to a red-tailed hawk, when I try to install the truck pack antenna on my red-tailed hawk, so my process of training, like I said, I have only 1 year experience, and this is my first Harris hawk. I read a lot of books. Every single book that I have bought in my house is about red-tails. I'm a huge red-tail fan. I love red-tail hawks, and well, I just read every single book that it's out there about red-tails. I had 2 red-tail hawks there. So my male red-tail hawk, he manned in 26 days. He was really slow. When I trapped him, he was super terrified. He opened his wings. He was scared of me every time I unhooked him. Took him 3 days to start eating from my glove, and after that I had to be really careful with him, get him used to inside the house. Then I took him in the park. I was walking around my house, like in the park too, with my dog, with my red-tailed hawk, only at night, because in the daytime he will just like freak out, and he was baiting from the glove, and it looked like I'm torturing the bird, and you don't want to attract people like and watching you and stuff. But anyway, my red tail meant in 26 days. Compared to her, when I trap her, we trap her 10 in the morning, and took me 2 hours. I put her right away in a giant hood. Took me 2 hours to get from Tucson to Phoenix back home. I had her hooded. I put her in a bow perch. She was sitting hooded there. Then after 1 hour I unhooked her. She was super terrified as well. She opened her wings. She thought I'm gonna eat her. She tried to scare me, but she wasn't aggressive. Like, she didn't like even try to foot me like my red tail like was so aggressive. I was holding his chest so tight, because like that guy will just grab you by the face. But she wasn't aggressive. I took her in a black dark room in my closet, and I was like, let me see if I offer her some quail meat. And I cut like a quail meat, a really bloody piece, and she didn't want to eat, and I put it back. After 1 hour I came back, so like let's say 6 hours later, after trapping a wild bird, she started eating. I was like, wow, this bird is gonna man really quick. Then on next day I was feeding her with the tweezers, because she was kind of aggressive, biting. So in 2 days she was kind of like already ready, more calm. She didn't bait a lot on my glove. She bait a lot on the T-perch, but not on the glove. In 2 days she starts bending down, eating from my glove. Then she was stepping on a glove. On the 4th day, she was already, flying 4 feet to my glove. And compared to my red tail, those guys, they learn so quick. I mean, if you don't push them, if you don't over teeth beat them, if you just have to tune yourself to the bird, and she's gonna like pretty much teach you that, like, hey, that's enough, don't overdo it. And I didn't over teeth beat her. In 4 days I start introducing her to the lure, so she was eating on the lure a lot. She's really good on the lure. She responds to the lure right now, even if she's like way far away from me, even soaring. And in 14 days I was flying her on 75-meter cranes. And then I realized, I was like, wow, she's ready to free flight. I mean, she is ready. I was like, but 14 days, it's so early. I talked to my sponsor. He's like, man, you should probably spend more time with her. But I was like, well, okay, it's not a red tail, it's a Harris. And she's already, at 14 days manning this bird, she was behaving like my red tail hawk, like fully manned, and even flown like in 2 months. Like, she was like so friendly. She wanted to be with me. She responded. She was amazing around my German shepherds. She was really calm around my family. She didn't care about me vacuuming the floor, watching loud music, and I will spend hours watching. I'm a Bolton Wanderers fan, and I watch Bolton games with her. And yeah, so I manned her for 40 days so much. I spent time with her inside the muse, outside. We went to the park. We drove, I drove with her on my glove. We went to Arizona State University. I was buying Starbucks coffee. I will bring her inside. People were like, wow, what is that? I was like, it's a Harris Hawk. I'll go to change my oil on my Jeep. I will bring her inside in a Jeep dealership. I will walk around with her anywhere I could possibly get and stress her out as much as possible. The bird was really calm. After 14 days, I flew her on the cranes, and I was like, well, girl, you're ready. Okay, turn around so they can see you. And I was like, yeah, you're ready. You're ready to fly. Come on. Yeah, you're not happy. So you sit there. After 14 days, even I was like, well, if she flies off, then she's good on the lure, and I have the telemetry on her. I mean, like, how bad it's gonna get. I mean, she's not gonna fly that far away, because I dropped her weight by 80 grams, and she wasn't as muscle up as she is right now. She wasn't as strong as she was right now. I was like, well, she's not gonna go anywhere. It's not a red tail, and I'm not gonna worry about her soaring off. I went to the field. I was like, okay, it's ready to fly. I let her go, and she was following me everywhere. Like, before I got to that cactus, she was already there. Before I got to that cactus, she was already there. I was like, wow, this bird is ready to fly. I flew her for 4 days. She did amazing. Then my buddy Mike has a male Harris Hawk. He called me one day. He's like, man, my male just caught a cottontail rabbit as soon as I got to the field in 20 seconds. And I was like, well, I want to continue hunting. The rabbit is still alive. If you want, I can just release it in the field and see if Catalina is gonna kill it. I packed my stuff back. I put her in the giant herd. I drove there. We released that rabbit. She slammed it. And after that, after 2 days, I gave her like break after 2 days. We went on the field. I released her. She saw the rabbit. Bam, kill. That was 7 in the morning. 5 p.m. I was like, let me take her again, because she didn't flew a lot like in the morning. I released her afternoon. She saw another rabbit, bam, kill. So for 1 week, she killed 9 bunnies. Then I think we killed so many bunnies in that field that there's no bunnies anymore. Well, there are, but like they're hiding in a different place. But like once I gave that baggie, and she just understood that, like, listen, like, I'm just there to help her, and these birds, they learn so fast, and they're so intelligent, and you know, like right now she's catching bunnies for fun, and it's a lot of fun to watch them. Yeah. And the difference between a red tail and a Harris hawk, that those guys are, I'm not trying to put down Harrises, I mean like red tails, not trying to put down the red tail hawks, but I think Harris hawks are much better for falconry, let's say in Arizona, versus a red tail, because that's where they live, that's where they breed, that's their environment, they're suited for this heat. It's
Also, again, thank you so much, but what about you're hunting, catching them, taking them where they live? Can you tell us a bit about the weather there? So like nighttime and daytime, summer, midsummer sort of weather, and then maybe the other end of the scale, what are you flying in midwinter there, the daytime and nighttime temperatures? I'm presuming it's mostly dry, even if it's cold at night, but can you tell us a bit about the actual climate of where Harris hawks actually come from? Because I know it's going to contrast here in the UK. We get damp and cold, wet and very cold sometimes, and our birds, if not cared for in many different ways, they suffer from wingtip edema. It's quite common, too common, and that's basically they get frostbite of, you know, this part of their wing where their primary feathers go in, and it goes gangrenous and drops off. They never grow their primaries and they can't fly again, or they need euthanizing. That's to do with our damp, cold climate here in the UK, winter. So tell us a bit about the climate there that these birds naturally live in throughout the year, if you don't mind.
It's getting like around 118, 119 Fahrenheit, so around 46, 47 Celsius in the summer. Summertime at night, summer weather at night, it's around 35, 34 Celsius. And the winter times is, let's say, like 15, 20 Celsius in the daytime, and it can get around from 4 to 8 plus 4 to 8 Celsius at night. They're suited for this environment. It's dry, it's not raining like you said in England, and it's not, the rain or the wet condition is not gonna damage their feathers. They love this environment, and they do really good in the heat. You know, I saw them driving in the summer in July when I was rehabbing my red-tailed hawk. I mean, they will just sit on a saguaro cactus like there's nothing happening, like 45, 46 degrees Celsius. I mean, it's burning hot. If I just sit like for 5 minutes outside, I will have like sunburn, and you can get cancer from this, you know, sun rays. But they don't care. They will just like tuck their leg in and sit on saguaros and chill. And imagine those little chicks, they hatch from an egg in this hot condition, and there she is. She's the proof that, you know, they're really good in the heat. My buddy has a muse with his male Harris hawk. He doesn't have air conditioning. He doesn't have any fans. It's just a muse with couple windows. His Harris hawk lives inside without any problems. I mean, if it's 118 outside, it gets like 130 inside. It's like 50 centigrade inside the bloody muse. Harris hawk is just fine, and they just I mean, yeah, they get hot, but if you have water, you have a like water bowl for them, they can take a bath, they can drink water, they can cool down, and they're totally fine in the summer. Alright guys, so we're locating here in a Queen Valley, which took its name from the Queen Creek, which is named after Silver Queen mine here in Arizona. It's a little community, has a golf course, and it's really nice and beautiful, charming place. So here we are located in Harris Hawk territory, and as soon as I was driving in, guys, there's a Harris Hawk just flew over my car, my Jeep. If you can see, it's sitting right there. So if I was ready to trap right now a Harris Hawk, I will, like, if she sits there, I will probably throw a BC trap somewhere on the other side. But that's where they live. We're going inside the city. There's more birds there. I hope we're gonna see, because I'm not sure if I can like show you like how they hunt, but I've seen 2 families there. I told you guys this is a heaven for Harris Hawks, and as we drive I'm gonna show you them lads sitting on the perch there, looking for prey. Look at these guys. We're driving through a neighborhood in Queen Valley, and there are, if you live in this neighborhood, probably you can watch those birds hunt in the backyard. Look at that. So as I drive on, hey buddy, hey buddy, hey buddy. Yeah, they're looking for bunnies. There's so many rabbits here. You see, there's one, so we pass one bird. There's one bird right here. There's one bird over there. And there's one bird right here. And there's one bird right here, so I can pretty much stop. Isn't it this is so cool. Look at that. So if I want to trap this bird, and I have the BC trap right here, I just throw it on the road, I mean away from the traffic obviously. And yeah, so that's male, huge female. Looks like a female or male, I don't know, but anyway, how cool it is, guys. It's funny, you have to come to Arizona, guys, and and really witness. I can just park here and watch them hunt in people's backyards. There's probably rabbits here in the wash, and they're hunting bunnies. They look for bunnies. Such a beautiful bird. So, you know, like they covering the whole perimeter like a squad of soldiers in a stagger formation. If something comes up, the whole street is covered. They see everything. And this is the first family, I believe. Like, so I showed you another Harris Hawk. It was like way down there in the big, you know, like outside the city. And I think there's another family lives on the other side. So we trap a female from this family. We trap a female and we trap a male this year, like 2 months ago. 2 months ago we trapped them. So even if it's too bad that I can't trap legally. I can't trap right now because I max on my trapping license. But it will be fun. Maybe next year I can show you how you trap a Harris Hawks. So we're in Queens Valley in Arizona, and I'm recording wild harrises flying around in the neighborhoods hunting in somebody's backyard. Look at that. I mean, Dave, come on. You see, I showed you that one. This harris. Okay, there's another one. I mean, I'm just camping here in the middle of bloody nowhere. Well, yeah, it's a monastery, a Greek Orthodox monastery, but there's like a miles and square miles, like 100 miles. Like Tucson is like 1 hour away, so I can drive like 1 hour. There's nothing. There's just a desert. There's nothing. And here they are, sitting here, looking for prey. You see? Let me zoom in. Look at this beautiful, looks like a female. She's looking for movement. There's no rain here, doesn't rain, rains like 3 times a year, like for 5 minutes. Rattlesnakes, those harrises, they don't go for rattlesnakes. Those, what you call, the red-tailed hawks. Red-tailed buzzards or hawks, they go for snakes. They love rattlesnakes. And yeah, this girl she's sitting in the right spot. She's looking for a bunny. That's where I wanted to fly my hawk, and she went over there. She flew over there like half a mile away. You know, so can't help it, but those are beautiful hawks. They live here for almost... I come to this monastery, it's like my church and everything. My spiritual father is here, so I can't come here all the time, but those guys, they live here, they breed here. The nest is like maybe 4 miles that way. There's another nest over there. So I have a feeling there's like 2 family of harrises here. And if you drive like a 40 minutes off-road, there's gonna be another harris. Oh, this is a male harris, not a female. This guy is a little guy. Can you hear that? Yeah, coyotes. Welcome to the Wild West. This is the Wild West. Imagine like 200, 300 years ago. Like Indians, Apache Indians, Navajo Indians used to live here, to roam the land. Americans are still coming here, the locals, for to look for arrowheads. They collect the arrowheads. Oh, there, yeah, he took off. There you go. People looking for arrowheads from the Indian wars. Cochise and all that territory was Indian territory. Everything. So when the cowboys came here, Florence, Tombstone, Arizona, you probably heard about Tombstone. If you didn't, you can Google it. It's John Wayne. He did a lot of videos about Tombstone. A really bloody town. Oh, there's another Harris hawk. Oh my gosh, look at that. You see that? It's flying over there, soaring. You see, that's a female, or I don't know, siblings. Same family. Oh, she's going after something. So compared to my red-tailed hawk, she's really chill bird. She doesn't jump. Like, I can come in the muse. She's going to stay where she's at. She's not gonna jump all over the place. Like, the problem with my red tail, and actually my friend's male Harris, if you come inside a muse, man, he's gonna be jumping like a ping pong all over the place. She's a really nice bird. I think I got lucky with this bird. Yeah. She just lets me pet her. Yeah, Catalina, say hi to England, mates. Ah, say hi to England. Oh, yeah, you're not happy? What happened? What happened? What happened? So guys, it's not England here, mate. It's Arizona. So those guys that flying Harris hawks in Scotland, Ireland, England, or in Europe, in really different environments, so that's where they live at. Guys, I see a bunny over there. Wait. There's a bunny rabbit there. Okay, so what we're going to do, I want to be away from people because I want to go a little bit further and release her so she can fly a little bit. Last time we came here, she just nailed the rabbit in like 30 seconds. I was like, that's not fun. That's a jumping cactus. It's a cholla cactus. Why they call it jumping cactus? Well, pretty much if you come close, if the wind blows those cactuses on your leg, you will be covered with cholla cactus. This is a typical Harris hawk habitat, guys. That's where they live, where they breed. Right now it's 17 Celsius, it's 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and they just live comfortably here. 118, 120 degrees, like around like 47, 49 Celsius in the summertime. They just water cactus and chill. So we are gonna go a little bit further away. And yeah, I love coming here. I love doing falconry. I just I don't know, I think it's super cool just to get out, spend time with your bird, you know. You know, those rabbits, sometimes they run into neighborhoods, and I don't want that rabbit to run into somebody else's backyard. I bet you money there's a bunny here. We're not gonna flash anything right now. I'm gonna release her over there. There's the jumping cactus. You need the cowboy boots. If you don't have a cowboy boots... Oh, there's a bunny. There's a bunny. Looks like she sees something. Let her sunbait a little bit. It's been 5 minutes. Unbelievable, man. She was unhooded and I saw 2 rabbits. And as soon as I let her out, it doesn't matter. I mean, if she see one, she's gonna go after, and we're gonna try. Or she's going after something. She saw something there. She saw something there. There could be a bunny. I burned all that energy for nothing. But good job for going on a high perch. Roll my ankle here too. Man, we didn't flash shit yet. Ho, 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 ho. Come on, girl. Good girl. Okay, good girl, good girl. Alright, let's go get bunnies. Let's go get bunnies. Stupid desert cottontail. They know. Ho, ho, ho! Oh my god. Okay, got it, got it. Where did she go now? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Eat, yeah, good girl. Eat him. Eat him. Nah, hey. Oh, bunny, jog. Go, Catalina, go. Oh my gosh. Good girl. Oh my gosh, I got it! I got it, I got it! I got it, I got it! Good girl. Come on, girlfriend. Yo, you're not too happy. You're not too happy. Is that a jackrabbit?
No.
Oh no, it's cottontail.
No, it's a baby jack.
Something? What is it? Wow. What?
Got it.
Where is she at? Okay, girlfriend.
No, don't let her carry it. She's upset. Yeah.
Man.
She's good. She got her kill. He's doing his job.
So where are we going?
Out.
Let's get out of here. Ho, 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 Jack. Ho, ho, ho. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Oh, oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh. Jackrabbit. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. He's right here. Ho! Ho, ho! Where the heck is? Did he go? Catalina, where did he go? Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho! Oh my gosh! Ho, ho, ho! Oh shit! Oh! Got it, got it, got it! Who got it? Yeah, he got it. Should I trade her? Shit, I left the food in.
I got food for you.
Hi, bro. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so tired, guys. I've been running all over the place, and here's the Catalina in her whole beauty and majesty. So, guys, I wish you the best. God bless you all. Stay healthy, and see you next time. Bye bye, cheers. Drink some beer for me, celebrate the rabbit.